that is a blue Bible app. Yeah, it's a very good app. I want to recommend that. This message may not even apply to you. I know some of us have kids and they're already grown, but your kid is your kid. No matter how old they get, they're still your child. And you still have an influence over your children. Moms. You still touch their hearts, no matter what age they are. Within this message, I hope that you'll see that maybe there's things that you can pass on to somebody who's starting out, somebody who's younger, somebody who's beginning in this process. Or maybe you'll see something in your own life that, you know what, I can correct this, I can make this better. Because he asked 3 questions. It's really a hard message because it involves death, but within that there is a message that I want you to get. I want you to see what he's asking her. In a mother's arms, there's comfort. In a mother's arms, there's love. In a mother's arms, there's peace. In her arms, she can heal wounds. You know, in her arms, she can make bad things go away. In her arms, there is security. But even in a mother's arms, she can't keep away death. So he asked her 3 questions as she's coming to him. He sends the servant to her. He asked her, is it well with you? Look at verse 26. Please run now to meet her and say to her, is it well with you? You can't get a kid. No matter what you say or how many times you say it to them, a kid knows whether God is important to you. They're watching you. They're learning from you. And like I said, this goes on. This doesn't just stop when they turn 19 or 20 years old. This continues. Your kids, no matter what age they are still looking to you for guidance, spiritual guidance. And if God is not important to you, God probably won't be important to them. Dad one time got up early and he woke his son up and he said, it's time for Sunday school. The son didn't want to get up. He kept arguing with him, it's time to go. The bus is going to be here to pick you up. It's time to go. He said, why don't you go? He said, well, I did when I was a kid. And kind of under his breath, he goes, well, it probably won't do me no good either. Kids watch. They see. They look at us. Yeah. Kids learn by example. You can't expect your children to walk with the Lord when you're still crawling. And then he asked the question, is it well with your husband? Look with me there. Please run now to meet her and say to her, is it well with you? Is it well with your husband? I did a survey, and this has been many years ago, but I'm sure if they did it again, it'd still be very high. But the survey was, what is your biggest fear? And it wasn't the atom bomb. It wasn't even war. It wasn't phantom. It wasn't getting a bad grade. Their biggest fear was that their parents would get divorced. That was their fear. No security in the home. You can't make your spouse come to the Lord, but you can be an example before them. Then he asked the third question, is it well with your child? Please run now to meet her and say to her, is it well with you? Is it well with your husband? Is it well with your child? Moms, have you been there for your kid in the past? And moms do this a lot better than dads do. Most dads fail at this. We don't encourage enough. We don't hug enough. We don't tell them we love them enough. But moms, you do. Can they tell you their secrets? Can they come to you? Can they confide in you? Can they look for you for help? And I'm telling you, no matter what age, I don't know what I was thinking when I thought, well, once they reach 18, boy, they'll be okay. That doesn't work like that. And I got to tell you, kind of glad it did. It's nice to be needed. Yeah. It's nice to be the hero. Can they tell you their dreams without you crushing them? Can you tune into them and know that there's something going on in their life, even though they may not say it? Remember what it was to be young? You think you had all the answers? And then the next minute, not even knowing what the question is. Remember what it was like to have your first crush, your first broken heart, your first pimple, your first day of school, your first bully, how it was to make new friends, how hard it was sometimes. Do you remember how important it was to have somebody there at the play that you were in, or the game you were in, or the celebration that you were in? Do you remember how proud you were when you gave your mom some piece of paper that you put together with glue? How excited you were to give it to her? Your children are the same. Now, y'all, this applies not only to our children, but to our grandchildren. We remember what it was like being parents, and you're struggling. You're trying to make ends meet. You got deadlines, and you got jobs to go to, and sometimes the parents can't be there. They want to be there, like we did, but they can't. So sometimes us grandparents have to step in, and we have to help, and we have to comfort and encourage and strengthen these children. But you notice how she answers. She says, it's well. Don't just say it's well and walk out of here. Don't just say, you know what? I've got some issues. I've got some things I need to correct. My kids are counting on me. And maybe they're older, maybe they're grown, maybe they got kids of their own, but they're still needing you. They're needing you every day. And I know sometimes I'm guilty of this, thinking, why don't they ever come check on me?